So it's your first time doing the gauntlet. Well, look no further. I have a shitty guide for you. So for gear setups, just slap on your best drip. And I like to keep a couple of nature runes in my inventory so that I can high alch some of the loot that we get. There are a lot of alkables, and whether or not you get a good drop, you are still making decent cash. I just did one run before doing this, and I got a pretty shit one. Like anytime you get rune or adamant arrows, it just feels so bad. But most of the time, you'll also get some useful things like gems. That can help you level your crafting and whatnot. Um, and then obviously, if you're here for any of the seed drops, like the enhanced crystal weapon seed or the armor seed, that always just feels so nice when you get it. So before we actually go into this, I just want to show you an example of pathing. So when you spawn into the room, you are always going to be either north, east, west, or south of the Hunlith. Hunlith is always going to be in the very center. And on the outside, the three rooms directly north, south, east, and west of the Hunlith are where demi-bosses are going to spawn. So what we want to do when we go in here is we want to gather up the resources that we need. We want to path. We want to show the demi-bosses that we have closest to us first. So that ideally we're going to be looking for tier 3 staff and a tier 3 bow. And then if you want to path around to the other rooms, you just kind of, diagonalize it, always keeping an eye on where your Hunlith is so that you get those three rooms directly to the east, west, north, south, right? And that's what you're going to be looking for. If you make this your priority, then you'll always be able to find the food that you need along the way, and you'll see how I will always be able to start a match with a full inventory of food and have my tier 1 armor and 2 tier 3 weapons. Okay, so now that you kind of get an idea of it, let's see what this is actually going to look like. All right, so we're going to start pathing around, and we're going to go to gather up resources first. So notice that I immediately went east. You could go west if you want, based off of the exact positioning that we have at this time. And we're going to gather up 3 of each resource. And we're going to show the demi-bosses that are available to us. All right, so none here, but we're going to keep pathing around like this. At this point, since we don't have a real weapon, I don't really focus on killing these guys. It's a lot easier to just kill like bats or rats and spiders to get the weapon frame. So we have a bear right there, so that's not going to do us a whole lot of help. All right, so actually that's good, because what I'll usually do at this point is I'll just, unveil one of these rooms around the demi-boss, and there we go. We get our crystal weapon frame. So we need about 80 shards to make a tier 2 weapon, and oh, look at that. I didn't even see this here. Get our bark. Now we're going to have all of the resources we need to make tier 1 weapons. Tier 1 armor. All right. So we don't need our axe or pickaxe anymore. And I usually don't drop the resources. What I will drop, though, is whatever food I have gathered right nearby the range. And we'll make a tier 2 staff right off the rip. Okay. Now, what I'm looking for is a dragon and a dark beast so that I can get 2 tier 3 armors. And while I'm on the way, I'll gather up whatever resources I'm missing. I can also go back and kill that bear, and I might do that. We'll see how this goes. Because if you grind up the crystal spike that he drops for the halberd, it will give you 80 additional crystals, which helps out. But no, we got a bear right here. So if I kill this bear and I don't find, I will find a demi-boss, but let's just say I don't find another demi-boss, we can go back to the other bear and he will drop us one of the upgrades that we want. So here we go. We'll grind this up, pick up this germ leaf. Another thing I also, oh, here we go, a dragon. Very nice. So I will be collecting 4 germ leaves throughout the course of the gauntlet run. And that's so that I can have 3 full pots, which is going to be more than enough. But if you're a lower prayer level, you might need that extra bit of... Let's drop one of these. You might need that little extra bit of prayer in your inventory. Alright, so keeping an eye on where the demi-boss is. We're going to keep pathing around. And pathing around. Alright, and here's our dark beast. We'll need another extra spot. That's okay, because our priority right now isn't food. We have more than enough time. And just to be able to craft an additional teleport seed in case I don't have enough is why we killed those extra mobs. Alright, so let's go ahead and make our tier 1 armor, max out our weapons, and get an extra teleport seed. And now we're just going to focus on looking for some extra food. Oh, wait. We don't need this anymore. And 1, 2, 3. Great. Alright, so now we need to find some germ leaves. And ran out of prayer there. Run there, so I had to re-up. So our main focus now is we're looking for germ leaves. We will find food on the way. Food is always at the bottom of the list of priorities because it's always on the way to what we need. So if you're being attacked, and you just spam click on the resource you're gathering to continue to gather it at normal speed. There's no point in conserving prayer. We are going to have more than enough. And yeah, see, look at this. Yeah, feel free to just waste your prayer by using it, not waste it. All right, so we're going to combine those pots together. We don't need any more fish, so we can drop our harpoon. Just looking for one more germ leaf. One more germ leaf. All right, we are getting a little close to time, but I do have 2 full pots that will get me through the fight. We're just going to call it quits, cut our losses, and be good with that. All right. We're going to cook up the food in our inventory. Unfortunately, we weren't able to make 3 full pots, but 2 is going to be more than enough. And I always like to make some combo food, so it looks like I'll be able to make 10, 11, and that should be it. We'll use our last few seconds for some inventory management. Make sure you slap on protect from range when you come in here, because he's always going to start the fight protecting from range. Okay, so at this point, it's all about pathing. Now, you can always like try to get him in an ideal placement, you know, but as long as you get your pathing down right, it won't matter where he spawns or where he is in the room. So every 4 attacks or so, he's going to switch combat styles. So you want to make sure you're praying appropriately, and then obviously attacking appropriately based off of what he is praying for. You don't want to step underneath him. You will get massive damage. There you go. He changes combat styles. So we are getting a little low on health, but what I'm going to do... Oh, whoops. Attacking with the wrong thing. Yep, so I'm waiting for these tornadoes because I'm going to be running around anyways. Switch your prayers. Switch your prayer back on. And I won't be attacking a whole lot while I'm dodging the tornadoes because I am choosing to survive. Make sure we drink some prayer. Alright. Always paying attention for when he's changing his attack styles. You listen for that little sound when he makes that little woo! And that's when you know it is time. And again, when the tornadoes spawn, I take my opportunity to eat some combo food. As you can see, since I'm running around a lot, I'm not focusing so much on damaging him. I do take less damage overall, since I'm not getting hit by the tornadoes. Bring some more prayer. Tornadoes spawn, and it is now time to heal. Alright. Whoa. Alright, got a little lucky there. So the pathing that I always work my way towards is the square 3 tiles from the entrance of each of the room. Anything that I'm doing, those are the tiles I'm always pathing myself to. Switch to pray, alright, and combat style. So notice no matter what side of the room I'm at, I'm always working my way to these 3 tiles. It will make it easier overall with dodging tornadoes when they spawn. Oof, kind of screwed up there. Let's see if I can recover. There we go. My quick prayer is protect from magic, so that in the event he does that, just slap it back on real quick. We're doing fine. We are running low on food, but we have enough to get us through to the end. Alright, so in this phase, he will be spawning the tornadoes and the floor patterns a lot more often. So you just want to make sure that you properly predict where... There we go. Properly predict where the floor is going to be. Try not to run behind him. It is very tempting to do, but it usually is a trap and will result in death. Want to try to deal as much damage to him as possible. Yep, I know I screwed that up. It's okay though. We have this on lock. Now just DPS check here, especially with the mistakes that I made and the little bit of health that I have left. And we're there. So with Corrupted Gauntlet being far less forgiving than regular Gauntlet, you more than likely will be taking a little bit more damage from floors or tornadoes until you get the hang of it. Don't be afraid to run over the floor if it means escaping a tornado, because if you get stacked by all the tornadoes, that is instant death. Whereas if you run across the floor, you may take 20 to 40 points of damage, which you can combo eat your way out of. So sometimes to choose life, it is better to run across the floor, is lava, rather than put yourself in a position that will allow you to get stacked by all the tornadoes to instant death. So let's see what we got this time. All right. A bunch of alkables, and yeah, we'll just alk that up and then run it back. Thank you for watching from my shitty guide, and I hope that you learned something, which you probably didn't, because it is indeed a shitty guide. Royal success.